Greetings. My name is Dr. Wade Runge, pastor at M3 Church. For those of you that don't know me, I'd just like to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Bishop Joel Brown of New Jerusalem is certainly a good friend of mine, and he called me recently to let me know that he had a desire for some of the things we do at our church to convey some of the strategies and things we're doing, the vision at M3 Church, and kind of my leadership style, some of the things we do. And one of the things that's been in my heart for a long time is that we would reach our community with one small kind act at a time. Because I have found through years of going to school and a seminary and all those things and doing ministry for 25 years, is that we spend millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars a year as Christians getting in the airport, getting on a plane, and flying right over our local areas that we should be doing ministry in. We're going to places like Africa, we're going to South America, Central America, the Middle East, and all those are areas that we're called to go to. But I don't think it should be done at the expense of our local community. Acts chapter 1 verse 8 says, "But ye shall receive power after the Holy Ghost has come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem, and all Judea, and in Samaria, and unto the uttermost parts of the earth." If we want power as believers, if we want power in our churches, I think it's imperative that we get busy and pull up our sleeves and we get into our local communities. It has to be more than just coming into the church on local assembly and hiding behind four walls like it's a fortress. It has to be more than us just having a good church service. It has to be more than just talking about Holy Ghost come on in, Holy Ghost come on in. But it has to be about the Holy Ghost coming on the inside of us and give us the power and the courage and the strength and the wisdom to get out into our community, to go to places that those who have been lost, or those who are hurting, and take the message and the gospel of Jesus Christ out to them. And one of the things we do at our church, and I'm a strong proponent of, is that we get in our community by showing the love of God in practical ways with no strings attached. No strings attached means that we get in our community and we're deliberate with this, is that we don't expect a transaction. And what I mean by that is that I'm not going up to someone and saying, here's a bottle of water, or here's some diapers for your children, or here's a hot dog or some chips that we want to be a blessing with. Now that I give this to you, now I expect a transaction for me to give you a flyer. Now you need to come to our church service. I don't think that's the way it's supposed to be done. I think Jesus Christ died for us with no strings attached. While we were out lost in the world, God saw fit to reach down into our abyss of sin and the mud that we were in, and save us, clean us up, like the prodigal son. When we finally came to our senses, he forgave us before a word was said. Well, in order for us to convey that message to our community, we need to show them we care. And some of the things I think is important for us to do is to get in our local urban communities. We've seen the Mosby Court, the state trooper shot and killed. We've seen shootings almost every week where someone is killed in local communities right here in Richmond, Virginia. And so we're focused as a church to get out in our local community in a very deliberate manner. And some of the things we are doing is that we're adopting one street at a time in Mosby Court, because we recognize we can't go in there and win the whole community at one time. But what we can do is win one person at a time to Jesus Christ, give them hope. And some of the things we do as believers in our church is that we take out the language of division, and we take out the language of those who are on the other side of the fence. Because the truth be told, is the grace of God that we're not living in Section 8 housing in Mosby Court or Creighton Court. I mean, the truth is that it's just we're not deserving to have the homes and the places we have. And just because we don't have shooting in our neighborhoods, and just because we don't have murders happening on a monthly basis or weekly basis in our community, doesn't mean that we shouldn't be sensitive to those who are just 10, 15, 20 minutes away from us in a car ride. And so in order for us to fulfill the Great Commission, I think it is imperative for us as believers and leaders to start coming together, strategizing, mobilizing the saints to get out into the community. And rather than just going out there and saying we're going to pray for people, let's do something about it. Let's get our hands dirty by doing some things like simply adopting a community and going into the community and cleaning it, giving a sense of pride, picking up garbage, showing ownership in our local community. One of the things we're doing next month in Mosby Court is on the street that we're adopting is that we're going to go in there and we're going to clean up the whole street. We're going to do some painting. We're going to clean up the playground, and we're going to have tables and stands set up for diapers and children's clothes. And as we're getting to know every person, establishing trust, because as you know, as a pastor, it takes time to earn trust. We can't just expect to go into a community and everyone to trust us and give us carte blanche in their community just because we're believers. But rather, there's a lot of people go into communities and say they're believers and they want to make a difference, and all they're there for is a photo shoot to put their picture up on social media, and just try to bring exposure onto their church. This really shouldn't be about that. It really should be about no strings attached. Going in the community where we don't care about who gets the credit, who gets the honor. It's about God getting the glory. It's about God getting the credit. It's about love winning. And so I would challenge you as a pastor to go into your prayer closet and ask God to send you leaders and people in your church who have a heart to pursue the things of God by reaching the local community. Because how can we say that we want to fulfill the Great Commission and we bypass Creighton Court, we bypass Mosby Court, we bypass Fairfield Court on the way to the airport as we fly to go to the Ukraine or going to Africa and sending our money over there, when with a fraction of the money we send overseas, and by pouring it into our community and with acts of love done in a deliberate, strategic manner, by the grace of God, we can make a difference in our local community. And I believe that tens of thousands of people will get saved if churches will come together. And we can do this across the country. We can do it across the globe. But it takes each of us as a pastor to impact our local congregations and with a positive message. Understanding the vision, evangelism has to be more than us putting a message out on TV and paying for us to be on TBN or the Word Network. Evangelism has to be more than us handing out tracts and knocking on doors. But evangelism starts with a heart that God has, like David had after God's heart, where we care about others. And some of the words that, as I was trying to convey earlier, is that to take out of it, it can no longer be them and those, but it's us. We are one community. We are one people. And we need to care for our community and let them know that are in the community that they're not them, but it's us and it's we. That's important. And if we might not be together right now in a setting, and this is via video, but I just wish you'd tell another pastor next to you, say it must be we and it must be us, because we're in this together to make a difference for the glory of God. So I'm looking forward to the future with Bishop Joel Brown and your fellowship of us maybe coming together, and maybe, just maybe, some of us will be provoked enough to good works that we'll all start adopting one street at a time. And I'm envisioning transformation through our community. I'm envisioning one day that maybe Section 8 housing will no longer be a need for it, because everyone in the Section 8 housing has gotten saved, delivered, and set free. And we've helped be a part with Jobs for Life programs. We've helped those who really want to work, get them out of that community and that setting, and changing the mindset that we can make a difference together. So with that being said, I'm looking forward to maybe us getting together, talking some more in the future. If you have any questions about outreach, about some of the things we do with no strings attached, some of the ideas we have done is we've done a couple home makeovers with no strings attached. We totally renovated homes. We have a house for those in recovery. Some of the other things we've done free car washes. Instead of, like a lot of churches, you have a car wash and you expect a transaction, people to give a financial donation. We'll just clean cars, give them a hot dog, a soda, and it blows their mind that a church is just willing to do something with no strings attached, changing the mentality of those, of what they think about churches. Because it has to be more than passing the plate up, but rather this is showing the love of God and reaching out. And some of the other things we've done is we give out about 1,000 toys for Christmas for kids, giving out 120, 130 turkeys and meals for Thanksgiving. And so we strategically every month try to get in our community with some type of COK. It's called a Conspiracy of Kindness Project. because I am a firm believer that kindness is really like a conspiracy. To try to find it in the church is very difficult. And so I think that when we have the right mindset and mentality, can come together and show kindness and love with no strings attached with one another, we can take in our community and change the world one person at a time. If you want to get a hold of me, M3 Church, Mount Movers Ministry, you can go under our Facebook page, M3 Church. And if you would like to check out our website, it's m3church.org, www.m3church.org. You can see some of the things we're doing in the community. We're looking for partners. We're not in a spirit of competition, but rather a spirit of cooperation to make a difference for the glory of God. Until we see each other again, God bless you.